The man behind your ransom is none other than Mr. Body himself.
And
Mr.
you're not
Body,
getting
what a
handled
scoundrel.
blackmail? Who is this body fella, you brutish butler?
Whom Mr. Body is of no concern of yours. Suffice it to say, he's a supporter of the House Un-American Activities Committee, and he has deemed your activities to be decidedly un-American. My task this evening is to expose your wrongdoings, leaving you all culpable in each other's indiscretions.
But we hardly know each other.
Precisely.
Don't you think that you might spare us this humiliation?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I have no choice. We'll start with you, Professor Plum.
Ooh, this ought to be good.
It says here, once you are a psychiatrist specializing in pathological lying lunatics suffering from delusions of grandeur.
Yes, but now I work for the U.S. government.
Ah, so your work has not changed. But it says here, you can no longer practice medicine. Your license has been lifted, correct?
Why? What'd he do?
You know how doctors aren't supposed to date their lady patients?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he did.
How awful! You know, someday there's going to be reckoning for men like you.
I hope so. Me too.
You're disgusting.
Making moral judgments, are we, Miss Peacock?
I
Then
reckon.
how would you explain taking bribes in order for delivering Senator Peacock's votes to certain lobbyists?
My husband is a paid consultant. There is nothing sinful about that.
Not when it's publicly declared, but when you're slipping cash under the stall at Old Evet's Grill. How would you describe that transaction?
I'd say it stinks.
When were you in that men's room?
So it's true.
No, it's a vicious lie!
But you've been paying our friend the blackmailer for over a year now to keep that story out of the papers. Seems a little sticky, no?
Now see here!
Well, I'm willing to believe you. I too am being blackmailed for something I didn't do.
So am I.
Not me.
You're not being blackmailed.
Oh, I'm being blackmailed, all right. But I did what I'm being blackmailed for.
What did you do?
Oh, I run a non-governmental agency that handles classified affairs.
Affairs. In Washington.
Is that how you know Colonel Mustard works in Washington? Is he one of your clients?
Certainly not.
I was asking Miss Scarlett.
Well, you tell him it's not true.
It's not true.
Is that true?
No, it's not true.
So it is true.
Ah, a double negative.
A double negative.
I'm afraid in this case, the double negative has led to proof positive. I'm afraid you gave yourself away.
Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
You need no help from me, sir. Colonel, it says here that you once hold a high security position at the Pentagon. Those negatives would surely compromise your position, no?
In what position were you caught in, Colonel?
This is an outrage.
Let us see. Who is next? Mrs. White. You've been paying the blackmailer ever since your husband disappeared of, shall we say, mysterious circumstances.
Say what you want. I didn't kill him.
Then why are you paying the blackmail?
Well, I don't know another scandal, do I?
Another.
It was all over the papers. We had a very humiliating confrontation. He threatened to kill me in public. Why would he want to kill you in public?
I believe she means he had threatened to kill her in public.
People couldn't stop talking about it.
But he was the one who died. Not you, Mrs. White. Not you.
He was found dead at home, unclothed. His head had been cut off, and so it is. Well, you know. But I didn't do it. I've been out all evening at the movies. What was showing? The Naked Alibi. A likely story.
But he was your second husband. Your first also disappeared, correct?
That was his job. He was an illusionist.
Ah, but he never
He
reappeared.
wasn't a very good illusionist.
And lastly, Mr. Green, who
I
is a...
don't need you to ask me, Wadsworth. I know what you're going to say about me.
And that is...
Mr. Green, who's a homosexual.
Not me.
I beg your pardon?
You asked who's a homosexual. Not me.
Thank you, Colonel.
You're welcome.
But there's more to it than that, Mr. Green.
How do you mean?
There's also questions surrounding your politics.
My politics, since when is working for the Republican Party a crime?
You pledged an allegiance to the Republican Party and yet neglected to vote for Eisenhower in the last election. That certainly seems grounds for an ousting if there ever was one.
Voting records are confidential.
Everything has its price, Mr. Green.
So there you have it.
Have what?
A crooked senator's wife, a lascivious doctor, a disloyal Republican, and so on. Not exactly adhering to an all-American standard of behavior now, are we?
Depends on who you ask.
But if this Baji fella is such a noble civilian himself, then why doesn't he report us to the authorities?
and give up the chance to make a buck? Come now, Professor, what could be more American than that?
Apple pie.
All right, Wadsworth. So we're being blackmailed by a renegade McCarthyist. Where does that leave us? Where is this Mr. Body?
And what does he want from us?
Who cares? I'm not staying to find out. I've done nothing wrong. I'm leaving.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Peacock, you can stay in delusion, but you cannot leave this house.
I am the wife of a great senator. You cannot tell me what to do. Locked!
Ah, yes. The doors are locked. The windows are barred. And the grounds, they're being patrolled by vicious dogs. There is no way out.
How dare you!
Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce you your host this evening and your blackmailer for life, Mr. Body.
How do you do?
Why find you attractive? Ooh, Mrs. White in the study with her knee. Thank you. I've studied martial arts.
There is one more thing women would like to know.
What?
The police are coming in less than an hour.
The police? Unless what? Unless you agree to double down.
And why would we agree to that?
Because if you don't, I'll put this briefcase containing all the evidence needed to expose you of your wrongdoings in the hands of the police, the press, and the House of Un-American Committee. With the right spin, those fellas make a commie out of anyone. I fear some of you would face a lifetime of jail and others a lifetime of shame. Unless what? Well, there is something you could do for me that would change the game. Something I just can't bear to do myself.
What?
Have a seat, please.
There's no one in this house. You don't really got it.
Sorry. Accident. What is this about, sir? In this bag, there are 6 packages that I thought our guests might find useful this evening.
Packages.
Presents, if you will. I'm a generous sort of fellow.
Are you now?
Wadsworth, will you please see to it that each guest receives a gift?
Gladly.
Anyone want to make a guess as to what is in your boxes?
Perfume. Candy.
A rare single malt Scotch whiskey.
Hard guessing game's fun. Please, open.
A candlestick? What's this for?
A wrench.
A lead pipe.
A dagger!
A revolver.
It's just a rope.
In your hands, you each have a lethal weapon. You all came tonight because you believed the evidence against you was so terrible that you would do anything to keep it a secret. I'm putting that theory to the test.
You are?
Mr. Wadsworth here is the only other person who knows your secrets, and it's costing us all dearly to keep him quiet.
What do you mean?
Well, I wouldn't have to double your payments if I didn't have to pay Mr. Wadsworth for his silence.
That's a lie.
He may look suave and charming,
Thank you.
but really he's conniving and manipulative. False. Why do you think he's called the police?
You called the police? Only because he instructed me to do so.
Did I? Ladies and gentlemen, if you can manage to get rid of Mr. Wadsworth, then I'll have no need to increase your blackmail or expose you to the police.
Get rid of.
Does he mean kill him?
In fact, if you can eliminate Wadsworth,
Yes, I think he does.
He not only knows all of your secrets, but also mine. Then I will eliminate your blackmail altogether and be done with this terrible business once and for all.
You would never. But why make us do it, Barty? Why don't you do your dirty work yourself?
Yeah.
Why should I? When the six of you are so uniquely motivated and armed.
What a patriot.
How could you? After everything I've done for you. Ladies and gentlemen, do not listen to him. I am not a butler, I am one of you. I am an indentured servant.
A familiar refrain. Don't make a scene, Wadsworth. It's over. The police are on their way. Now's your chance. The only way for you to end your blackmail and avoid finding yourselves on the front pages is for one of you to kill Wadsworth. Now!
It's Mr. Body!
Oh, thank goodness.
Is he breathing?
Stand back! I'm a doctor! He's dead!
Who had the gun?
I did!
So you shot him?
I did!
Well, then who did?
I don't know! Somebody grabbed it from my hand, and the next thing I knew, there was a shot! There's no gunshot wound!
He's right, there isn't. Look, there's a bullet lodged here.
Eagle Eye was sky.
If the bullet hole's over there, then how did he die over here?
I don't know, I'm not a forensics expert!
Something else must have killed him.
One of us must have killed him.
Well, don't look at me. I didn't do it.
I think it's really
I need a drink.
Maybe Mr. Body was poisoned by the brandy!
Well, someone had to stop her from screaming.
Was the brandy poisoned?
How should I know?
Looks like now we'll never know.
Unless she dies too.
The screams! They're coming from the billiard room! Follow me! Who's in there? Yvette! Yvette, are you all right?
Yvette, are you alive?
Of course I'm alive, you idiot! No thanks to you, Wadsworth! You locked us up in this house with the murderer!
So the murderer is here?
Wait!
Where?
Where? Here! Oh, look at him! Oh, her?
What took you so long?
I'm an old woman who may or may not have been poisoned. It's a miracle I'm anywhere.
I heard you on the study. One of